Going to be discussing Peacemaker. So the finale is here.
Happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Happy thoughts.
Peacemaker. So we have the big finale. Everything's
Yeah.
coming to a head where they face off against the butterflies.
We talked about this with a Book of Boba Fett, and how with that show I felt like it was kind of just writing around and let's just make something with these characters to tide people over until season 3 of The Mandalorian. And with Peacemaker, you're actually asking of your audience very, very important, very vital questions about like existence. It's like, what is the price you're willing to pay for peace,
Right.
or is there a wrong time to rock? Or, and the most important, do you really want to taste it?
Yeah, I mean, this is, an exciting show to watch week to week. And then, a lot of people were also talking about just, in discussion with this show, the kind of, which also congratulations to the show for getting a season 2, by the way. This is getting a season 2 as well. Congratulations to the show for that.
Well deserved. Isn't it funny that James Gunn, in the span of like a couple years, he gets unjustly fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then DC and Warner Brothers just snatch him up to direct the Suicide Squad. Off the success of that, he gets the Peacemaker show, and he gets rehired by Disney.
Yeah. I mean, he was it's kind of getting canceled works in your favor. I mean, you fail, kind of go upwards a little bit. Yeah, it's like,
It wasn't even... It was a case where everybody knew that the cancellation was bullshit, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, he's having a great time, yeah. Javon Good, he said, don't know about Unjustified, but he deserved another chance.
Those tweets were like a decade old at that point. He'd already apologized previously.
Yeah. And in the situation, with the James Gunn tweets that he tweeted about, I mean, that was a situation where, somebody was trying to do it because he's a very vocal guy on Twitter.
Because he's very critical of. I think it was the Trump presidency at the time. I think this came out around 2018.
Long enough for a man to change.
Yeah.
Or at least attempt at least. So
because those tweets were coming out like when he was still working at Troma Films, when he was making stuff like Super and Slither, which I think are both amazing films, but they're a lot more mean spirited than the stuff he has now, especially with Guardians and Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Slither is probably one of the meanest black comedies I've seen in a while, horror comedies, and it works, but it's really mean. And it has Nathan Fillion in it. Go check that out.
Yeah,
as well as Super.
Great fucking movie.
Super was made with $3 million, and goddamn, he used every ounce of that money.
He used every single penny of it.
Who doesn't love a superhero who has a wrench for a fist and completely murders people by punching them really hard?
Oh my god, yeah, Super is basically the vigilante movie.
Pretty much. Yeah. He punches the person in the face like, now you need to think about what you've done. I'm like, that guy's dead. He's like legitimately dead.
James Gunn, he's had a great comeback, in his career. Well, I guess not that much. I mean, he didn't really go anywhere, but he's had a great kind of trajectory with his career. Constantly gone upwards and done a lot of great stuff. The Suicide Squad movie, even though it didn't do that well in box office, it's still a great movie, doing well on streaming right now.
It's doing well. It's picked up a lot more traction off of the strength of Peacemaker, and since it came back to HBO Max, and I think even though it didn't do well at the box office, which, come on, it came out like during COVID. It was like during the Delta variant. It was like when like half of the country wasn't still fucking getting vaccinated, which the fuck.
Yeah, so it was kind of kind of a lot of things going against that movie. Plus, it was a sequel to a movie that, even though the first one made a lot of money,
But
not very well
yeah, a
received by
sequel
many
that's
people.
let's
So
be very kind and say it sucks ass.
yeah, so I think he did kind of a better job here. And then with the spinoff show, they announced before even the movie was going to come out, before Suicide Squad was even
Yeah,
coming out.
they announced. I think they announced it while the Suicide Squad was still in post production.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And people were like, sure, okay.
yeah. It's
And
like,
then,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the casuals were like, really a spinoff of this character we've never heard of, and the people in the know, oh, James Gunn doing a superhero show for HBO Max, let's go.
yeah.
To also be fair, this show is better than the actual character in the comics.
Yeah, I don't know really know
That's
anything
not
about
saying much though.
No, I'm just saying.
that. Don't really know anything.
Anyways,
Yeah, let's be honest. In the comics, neither Peacemaker nor Vigilante are really all that special.
I mean, they're C tier. They're C tier characters.
Dude, at best, they are Z tier characters.
I'd say closer to like low C, high D, because they're not completely unknown, but
They're less of a deep cut than the fucking White Dragon, but sure.
yeah, yeah. No, and the White Dragon's still C tier. He's just higher on that level.
Yeah.
He's not what people think of first. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't think he's what he. None of the characters in the show, besides the ones that are name dropped and the ones that make an appearance that I will not say due to spoilers.
Yeah.
They're not the first. They're not the second. They're not even like the ninth on most people's mind when they talk about DC.
Yeah.
No.
They're like the list of 200, maybe 300.
Yeah, but this show, god damn, it's what? It's like this, The Boys, Invincible, and Daredevil and Watchmen that constantly stand out as we're kind of in the golden age of comic book television.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with this show, with the first season of it, it definitely ranks up high. I think it would be one of my favorite kind of comic book adaptations ever. When you really look at like all the shows, even including the movies, and I think I saw something where there was like this is the highest rated DCEU property, ever pretty much. I think at like 95 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, also look at what it's competing against.
Yeah,
it's like the DCU, even at its best with something like Wonder Woman, that's still only like what, an 83.
You talking about your personal, or you talking about on Rotten Tomatoes?
I can't remember exactly what the first Wonder Woman is rated.
I think it's like in the 90s. It's like 90 something.
Oh, it's like 92, and that's being very generous.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what they were able to do with the show, James Gunn, came on, bringing his sensibilities onto this, and getting to explore the character more, of Peacemaker, and then with John Cena, who I think was very capable, and we talked about it every week, of very handling the role very, very much and very well.
Yeah. Let's be honest, John Cena, he is, I think, off the strength of this show, he's kind of surpassed The Rock and Dave Bautista as like the wrestler turned actor. Because as much as I like Dave Bautista, but I don't think he's had a character where he's gotten to show off as much range as Cena has done here.
Besides Drax.
Yeah, besides Drax.
Yeah.
I would say in Blade Runner he was actually really good.
Yeah.
Right. Fuck. I keep forgetting about Blade Runner.
Yeah. I thought. Yeah.
My bad, Bautista.
Yeah, he was great in the opening of Blade Runner. Yeah, thank you, Dust.
Yeah, he was really good. And in the short film that he was in that's based on it too. He was good in that too.
Yeah. Javon Good, he said that James Gunn's wife in the show is fine. 20 years younger than him.
Which she
Yeah,
she is very fine.
Yeah, good for him. It's more of a case of a Mike Flanagan than like a Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
I think in this. Because one, both Jennifer Holland and Kate Siegel actually have talent, and bring a lot to the character. Even if one critique I have of the show is I think of all the side characters in this, like Adebayo, like Myrn, like even Economist, I think the one that kind of doesn't get as well developed is Amelia Harcourt, who's played by the one fine as hell and also super talented Jennifer Holland.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think you kind of learn more about her a little bit of kind of her whole kind of ideology as far as like she's kind of a person like Peacemaker as far as like I'll do whatever it takes for the mission, and you know what I mean, and kind of her whole thing was like she doesn't have a problem necessarily with killing civilians if that's necessary to get the job done, but a fellow person in the job, a soldier, she has a problem with, and kind of kind of her ideology there.
I think with her character, it's about loyalty to your team, which Josh, you and I both been in the military. We can kind of understand and sympathize with something like that.
Right, right. Yeah, Dusk, what kind of your thoughts on the finale here?
I think for the most part, it was a solid finale. There's still some loose ends here, and there is a little bit of a couple of the writing things here and there that I would have liked to seen a little bit more on. But honestly, anything I can really say is more on. I would have liked to have seen maybe 2 more episodes and even 10, just to get a little bit more depth, a little bit more from certain characters. Although I will say, it's a controversial moment. There's a certain moment with I don't want to call him this now because of this finale, but Diebeard. I don't want to call him that, but that's all I remember him as.
Yeah, I think of the 8 episodes, every single one of the side characters has had their real moment to shine. Adebayo, she's kind of been one of the better side characters. Freddie Stroma's Vigilante, he's been fantastic, and Clemson Myrn, he got one of the best episodes, like I think 2 episodes ago. Mm-hmm. And this episode was Steve Aggie's time to shine, who plays John Economist.
Yeah, in that moment, and I can understand with some people that might have not landed with people, but he's acting his little heart out, and it's nice, and it's also something to be said for what's. Yeah, go ahead.
He's acting his heart out, and it's a moment that rings true to that character.
And I think it's also imperative. I think what I like about the show is James Gunn, or at least the writing and the writing team. I have to credit the writing team, because a lot of this series doesn't have the best story, but its dialogue and character focus and consistency is what completely saves and makes a show that could have been like just okay into good is a good show, a really good show.
And that's something that I think James Gunn excels at. It's like, if on paper you look at the plots for most of his movies, they're fairly basic, could be kind of underdeveloped. But where he excels is writing dialogue, writing humorous scenes, and interacting with the characters. Right. It's giving these characters who, on paper, are just stereotypes, and adding like entirely like different layers of depth to them. Even a character like Economist, who's kind of like the nebbish guy in the chair that we've seen in countless other of these types of superhero shows, and he has this moment where he's pouring his heart and soul out.
Oh, because it's literally life or death. I think what I was trying to get to is what works also is the best shows utilize every aspect and kind of call back to it. And I think with his character, I think what I love is what comes off as it's just a small little joke.
Yeah,
a running joke ends up being a big moment that has a callback, and he's done that most episodes. Things that were there's almost always had a callback, and that shows good consistency.
It's like a throwaway line a few episodes becomes this hugely emotional beat a couple episodes later.
Yeah. And it matters to that character, and it matters to them, and that even includes how they deal with the butterflies in the finale. however you feel how the butterflies, quote unquote, are dealt with, um, I hope the dynamics aren't changed too much for season 2, because a lot of times a series has a good formula, and then they're like, oh, we got renewed for another series, let's change all that and try something new. And it's like, no, you build on that, you work with what worked, and then you try and build. So I hope it changes just enough, but not too much, to keep these characters, because their chemistry is what's worked. If I only had a little sadness, is that one of the main players will not join the other party that I know of. They could pull some BS in season 2 to bring a certain character back, but that's one character I wanted to see more of.
Okay.
Without getting into spoilers,
Is there, by the way, is there like a stinger at the end? Because I didn't realize. Is there like a stinger?
there is.
There is, but it's
mostly
kind of been
funny.
the same. It's been the same kind of stinger that has been throughout most of the episodes. It's just like an alternate take of a comic scene that was in one of these episodes.
Yeah, like Vigilante is just talking about him, about like, no, this is what sarcasm is, to like John, who's just like, how would you even think about, why would they even be sarcastic? Like, well, you have to explain these things. Of sarcastic, like, you are like so, it's like so fat, or that you eat more chips than any bin, and that is like, that might kill you, kill you. And at the very end, but then he switches, but no, for real, I'm actually worried about you, about your health. And he's like, thank you. Like, it's just at the end of that. That's how it ends. Just one of those, like, a different take.
Okay.
And the like iconic piece, John Cena ranting about different names. And I think the take that they put in the post-credit scene is like Priscilla Presley, Freddie Stroma, James Gunn. Those last two aren't even things.
Oh, okay. So I was just wondering, did I miss any like?
No, they don't. It's not.
Yeah,
there's no lore.
Every post credits is just like an alternate take of a comics of one of the funny bits in the episode.
Okay, that's what I was just worried about. I was worried about that.
Yeah. No, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything extra.
Okay. So with this finale, you have them, everything kind of coming to a head with the butterflies. The butterflies are trying to take their food source, trying to teleport it elsewhere, because without this food source,
it ended up being a Mothra.
Which looked absolutely disgusting. By the way, like, the big eyes,
which was gross, disgusting looking, and something that James Gunn's
and everything I'd hoped
done in both this and the Suicide Squad. They truly made the kaiju monsters look gross.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they're basically trying to, because it's like, hey, they're all going to be here. This is our last chance. If they move their food source, we don't know. We have to start all over again and do the investigation. So we have to. This is our moment to strike. You have Adebayo, who reveals to the team that her mother is Amanda Waller, and she was kind of sent in as kind of an undercover agent to keep an eye on everyone, as well as be the person to plant the diary in Peacemaker's trailer. And it was funny, she was, kind of on the phone with her mother and telling her all about it, revealing to the team. It's like, I don't know, you got to call somebody, call the Justice League, you know what I mean? And somebody, you know what I mean? And
it's like that thing when you're trying to relay stuff between like a manager and like the head of the office. It's like, okay, can we wait? Can we wait for backup? It's like, no. Yeah, they say no.
Yeah. That was a great scene. Yeah, I thought that was a really, really good scene there. And seeing them kind of raid the facility, which they do the thing with they have the helmets there.
Yeah, the show has always had really great action beats.
Yeah,
but this finale episode, it might take the cake. And you know that James Gunn watches anime, because it's kind of like that trope is, when you hear the song in the in the opening credits, and it's not the opening credits, shit is going down.
Oh yeah, and that was a great action sequence. I mean, because it's Vigilante, it's Peacemaker.
It's Vigilante, Peacemaker, hardcore, and I think what separates this from a lot of other comic set pieces, you have this amazing cast of stunt people and cinematographers. And it's all done in long takes. It's not like a Daredevil where it's all in one single camera take. It's like long takes, because I think on average, like most action beats, it's like one cut is like 3 or so seconds, and I think I timed it. It was like 8 seconds long, where you actually get to see the camera follow the action. It reminded me a lot of how Matthew Vaughn shot the first Kingsman movie.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you,
I can see
Divine
that.
McCline, for the subscription. Thank you very much.
Divine McCline.
Hey, thank you very much.
Devon Miss Klein.
How are you doing? We were just talking about Peacemaker finale here. Nick was just going on about the action.
Yes, we were
sequence.
talking about the awesomeness that was the Peacemaker.
Yeah. Yeah. Finish your statement.
Yeah, and these long takes where you get to let these actors and I'm guessing stunt people really show off their skill. Have the camera follow it. It is kind of like that shaky cam style, but you can still see everything that's going on.
Oh, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Divine Miss Klein.
5 gifted subs.
Very, very much appreciated. You are too kind.
Miss
Thank
Klein.
you.
Thank you. You are very kind. Cheers to you.
Oh yeah, thank you. That is so amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just it keeps you emotionally connected to all of your actors in these actors, which is something that I think a lot of movies miss. That was missing from Uncharted.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is. Yeah. I mean, it's a show that knows how to have big payoffs and be interesting. Over the stretch of these number of episodes. Dusk. What were kind of your kind of thoughts there?
With the action,
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the better action. It combined every aspect of the previous episodes. It certainly had a lot of budget in it, and you can tell the camera movements were good. You could tell where characters were. I understood what was happening, and I understood what the flow of each action beat along with each character. I think my favorite is when Vigilante, after he gets in a situation, and then he's just like, oh man, and he just like waves his arm, and then a blade just flings into a character's head.
He no-kill looks one of the butterflies, and
He
it's
does,
awesome.
and I'm like,
which is something that I think is great about this is that even though Peacemaker, Vigilante, Harcourt, they are shown to be very, very competent badasses, they are not untouchable.
No.
Like
Yeah.
they get fucked up by the end of this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do in this series.
Poor
yeah.
John. that made me laugh. Unfortunately, that made me laugh so hard.
It's one of those beats that it's funny, but you kind of feel bad for.
I know, I felt real bad, and I was just like, "Come on, this guy can't even catch a break."
Hey, thank you, Ernie STZ. Thank you for the subscription, man. Thanks for stopping by. How are you doing, man?
Everybody,
Even the universe.
it's one of those things. Everyone is kind of shitting on him. It's like even Harcourt's like, "Look, Adebayo, you stay back in case we go down. You're our last hope." And he's just in the background.
What am I? And she doesn't respond. She just ignores him. It's like, which is really weird. Because the previous episode or two, he's coming clutch every single time.
He's kind of been the MVP.
Yeah, even from episode 1 or 2, he's coming clutch.
Yeah, he killed the neo-Nazis. He killed he killed the gorilla.
Yeah,
He stopped Judo Master from escaping and warning the butterflies. Like,
he pulled,
MVP.
he pulled the old Jason Todd on Judo.
He was the most useful intel guy.
Thank you for the subscription, man. Thank you, Javon Good. Hey, man, much appreciated there. And thank you for the 200 bits, too, Javon Good. Hey, man, thank you.
He was the intel guy. He found the location of the cow. He found the location of the plant. He was able to hack data in it. As far as I'm concerned, he's the one who made this whole thing even possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going back is James Gunn. He makes characters like relatably stupid, but still competent at what they do.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
there are multiple moments where you have Chuck Wudiwuji's Clemson Mern chewing them out over mistakes they made, but when the time comes, they are down for the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the 1,000 bits there, Miss Klein.
Thank you for the 1,000
Thank you,
bits.
sir.
Very much appreciated.
All I want, if there's a season 2, all I want is that John Peacemaker takes out John and like, all right, stud, I'm gonna make sure you can fuck. We're gonna teach you how to shoot. We're gonna get you on the fucking treadmill.
Yeah, but
Jesus. Imagine season 2 of Peacemaker and suddenly Steve
He's just
Aggie
ripped.
just looks like it's Steve Aggie's just built like Chris Hemsworth. In the
No,
next
I would
season.
love that. I would honestly would love that. He's just like, what the hell happened? I went to the gym.
yeah,
I just stopped drinking beer.
Exactly, the equivalent of I stopped drinking beer.
yeah, it has a Chris Pratt moment there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, podcast is going well, Ernie. SKZ, he was very interested in Peacemaker himself. He's a very good streamer. He does a lot of Call of Duty stuff there.
I'd recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so to quote a friend of the show, Nathan Flynn from the Mission Impossible podcast, this show fucks. It's awesome.
Thank you for the 1,500 bits there, Javon Good. Hey man, much
No!
appreciated. There.
Wait, is that the hype train?
Yeah, this is level 3. This is our first hype train.
Yo!
Yeah, wow, yeah, this is our first ever hype train stuff. I wish I had something for it there, like good animation or something like that, but I do not yet. But I will make one, yeah, just in case it happens again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Divine Miss Klein.
Do that Peacemaker dance, or it's like
Yeah. But hey, thank you, Divine Miss Klein. Thank you, Javon Good. Hey, much appreciate. Thank you, Ernie. SKZ. Thank you, man. Yes, first hype train. Divine Miss Klein, first hype train ever. Yeah. Wow, history's been made. Oh wow, thank you very much. Much love. Much love.
Thank you, everybody, making history. This is
Yeah.
the first time we've gotten a hype train.
Hype train.
Yeah. Thank you so much. If I had emotions, I'd cry. Just like, but
That's fair.
but I'm
That's
kind
fair.
of, I don't
I
want
do
to
have emotions, and I am.
I'll be like Vigilante. It's like you're doing that weird thing with your face again. I don't know what that means.
It's like a weird time to do.
Hey, Backlog. Yeah, we just saw Uncharted. We talked about it. We're gonna be posting the review up there soon, as well. Divine Miss Klein gifted 5 more subs to the people. Thank you, Divine Miss Klein. Very much appreciated. Wow, you are too amazing, Divine Miss Klein. You're way too amazing there. Wow, she is. I guess she must have got paid today. I guess it must be payday today. Yeah, I guess, and just balling out. Won the lottery. I guess
she
today.
is. Yeah, Divine Miss Klein. She is making it rain on the stream.
Yeah, thank you so much. Level 4. Wow, thank you.
She's got as much reckless abandon with her money as a black dude in a rap video.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Backlog. We did talk about Uncharted. The stream's gonna be up later. We're also gonna be posting a review for it. Probably should be Monday. Thank you, Javon Good, coming in, man, with the more 100 bits, man. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 400
Holy shit,
bits.
we've been at level 4.
Yeah, wow.
God,
Thank you. Thank you so much. What were you, let's guess you saying about Peacemaker there that you loved in this finale?
Well, because I can't say everything. Even with the action bits, with Gun grounding it the way he does, with making our characters vulnerable, it adds a whole bunch of more tension, and you get that like cool little fake out where we finally get the confrontation between Peacemaker and Goff, who is now played by Annie Chang, who she is a terrific actor, because I remember reading an interview with James Gunn. Is like a lot of people, they pretty much read for one character, and she had to read for both Detective Song and as Butterfly Goth.
Jesus Christ.
And she nails it.
Holy shit, level 5 we're at right now. Thank you. Because of Javon Good and Divine Miss Klein. Thank you, Jesus. Wow. Very much appreciated. Hey, Awesome
I'm a little
stuff. Yeah.
overwhelmed now.
Yeah, wow,
No.
that is awesome. Now I got to really come back and yeah, show some love to Javon Good and everything like that. Yeah, show some love to his stream and everything like
Sure.
that. He streams a lot of Last of Us. He plays that.
Mm.
Thank you, Divine Miss Klein. I mean, it's all because of you, Divine Miss Klein. You came
Yeah,
in, you started.
it's all because of you.
Yeah, you
It's all
started
because
the
of
road.
you. To quote Homelander, you guys are the real heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, level 5. Wow, thank you so much. That is amazing. That's amazing stuff. Yeah, backlog also agree with you, Nick. Yeah, he said she is really good in the show. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She had to play like two drastically different characters. And in the case of Goff, she has to play someone that is being controlled by this like hyper intelligent, almost like non-feeling alien, and she nails it in that hugely emotional speech in the finale towards Peacemaker about why the butterflies are here and why they're doing what they're doing. It works so well.
Hmm.
And it's a little bit of tension because you generally don't know what call Peacemaker is going to make until he does.
Hmm. Yeah. Dusk.
I agree with Nick. I think that's it could have gone either way moment. I think that's what made it interesting. But I think my favorite part of it is honestly just how quiet it is.
Hmm.
How quiet the wrap up is after it's done. It's said and done. And there's a question that he talks to Adebayo about, and he asks her something, and that really hit hard. He'd been wondering to himself, like, "Oh, I don't want to do this things anymore. I don't want to do this." And he's like, "Did I just
And
commit something?"
he has a moment of self-reflection, which I think is kind of missing from a lot of comic book shows like
Yeah,
this. Or at least if there's self-reflection, it's usually done off screen.
Hmm.
And Gunn lets us sit with that moment and have John Cena like ruminate on it in real time.
Mm.
And it's a genuinely fascinating question. Is like when you do something and you have that time where you reflect is, did I make the right decision?
right.
Hmm.
And he solidifies it like, "Well, if it did this for some," and she's like, "Did you fall back on someone of bullshit?" And he's like, "No, I did it for a really simple reason."
He did it
And
for a really simple reason that he never would have considered prior to the
right,
events of the show or even the events of the Suicide Squad.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been not even like a thought process. Like, no, that's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. Why would you do that? And now he just
Yeah,
to
the
him now,
backlog. Yeah, the backlog just commented is like John Cena's a way better actor than I expected, and
yeah,
I'm agreeing 100%. And as far as like the goat of WWE guys turned actors, it's between him and Batista as who is the best one.
yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah, absolutely. Backlog, who just cheered 500 bits, like Divine Miss Klein started the roll, domino effect, came in also Backlog with 100 bits. The Backlog, he streams as well. Gives you guys a follow. He does. Javon Good does. Really, really great, great people there. He does. I saw him playing Sifu as well. He was tearing his hair out, just like me, playing as Sifu. Yeah, he was like,
I was tearing my hair out when I played it too, but I had the foresight not to stream that nor the capability to.
yeah, yeah, so he's really great. But thank you so much there, the backlog. Yeah, John Cena. I saw something where somebody said like Batista. You know, you see he's really good at the dramatic stuff. You see, The
Mhm.
Rock is really charming, maybe better. You know, he's good at the comedic
The
stuff.
Rock, honestly, I wouldn't call The Rock an actor. He's a movie star.
Mm,
You go to movies to see The Rock. You don't go to see The Rock act. Like The Rock is not gonna get a fucking Academy Award nomination for shit.
well, you never know. I mean, you never know. Maybe.
Batista and maybe John Cena, like a couple years down the line, yeah, I can see it. Off the strength of this show, I can see Cena being like an Emmy or Oscar nominated actor.
Hmm. Yeah. Ernie SKZ, he says, from what I've seen, Cena does well in different genre roles. Batista's good at mainly action, in his
Hmm.
opinion. I think Batista's good
Yeah,
at. dramatic stuff like you see
Batista's
in
good with
Blade Runner.
action and dramatic stuff. Even Army of the Dead, which I've kind of come around on, is like it's okay. I think he's great in that, and he has a lot of emotional beats where he crushes it. And Cena, the fucking scene in the movie theater in Trainwreck, that still makes me laugh hysterically to this day.
Yeah. I think Cena's better at doing comedy and drama at this point, from what I've seen, just from him with this show, than maybe
Yeah,
Batista.
and according to James Gunn, he's like one of the most gifted improvisers that he's ever worked with, and he's also been married to Jenna Fisher, directed her guys like Rainn Wilson, guys like Chris Pratt, and John C. Reilly. So that's a hefty honor to be bestowed by James Gunn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a wrestler, and he did have to do a lot of those, you know what I mean, monologues, a lot of those kind of scenes where you go up there on the mic all the time and kind of do a lot of stuff. So it makes sense why he would be that good at it, and why John Cena would be kind of that good at a lot of stuff. But everybody in the cast overall, I mean, the whole cast does an amazing job. Like Dust mentioned, I mean, the chemistry is through the roof. Backlog say Gunn is a lucky guy with his wife. Yeah, Javon Good mentioned that as well. Backlog, how much? Yeah, James Gunn. I mean, Jennifer Holland's in the show playing hardcore. Yeah, she's fine. Very very fine. Very gorgeous woman. And then Ernie SKZ says, "I'd say Cena's used to working different characters at WWE." Yeah, very good kind of actor then doing all those kind of different characters there at the WWE, and yeah, I think the last time I really was into the wrestling WWE like that, Cena was like a major figure kind of on the come up. Thank you, Nick Nastiest. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, raiding with a party of 7. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you, Britt. How are you doing? We just had a level 4 hype train. Thank you for that from Divine Miss Klein, the backlog, Ernie, SKZ. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow as well, amazing Britt. Dust, like you mentioned, like with the whole, kind of amazing cast, the chemistry. Was there any kind of things that do you think the humor? There's moments where it did kind of fail you at some point. So I know some people were maybe talking about that in the show, that maybe it wasn't that funny, or did any kind of moments miss for you in the finale that you can think of?
I think when the show first started, it was still trying to feel itself out. It was still trying to understand what it was kind of wanting to be. No, yeah, you can really tell from the first 2 episodes, well, what kind of a tone is this really going to get on? It wasn't really until episode 2 that it was starting to find its pace, and then it hit the ground running throughout. It's fine.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Dusk, I love you, dude, but I'm kind of the opposite mind. I think this show 100% knew what it was from jump, especially in the first episode, that interaction between John Cena and the janitor, where they're just like bantering back and forth about like, it's like it's like, you're not a superhero like Aquaman, and they're talking about like Aquaman fucking fish.
Yep. By the end of it, there's a callback. It's distinct writing. You have a consistent writer.
Can we spoil?
No, we can't spoil.
God damn it.
At the end of the day, when it comes to the finale, there's certain jokes that may have not hit as hard, but I think honestly, the pre-episode, John's in control. When his tone is set and he's really focused on it, I laugh for the most part. For the most part, I think most of it. Maybe the Eagly scene could have been like shaved a little bit, but after a while, it kind of, as longer it went, it came back to being funny again. Like just like, oh god, okay, you are horribly overestimating this beautiful creature.
Yeah, Eagly is one, adorable, and 2, has one of the best comedic bits in this final episode.
Oh yeah. I love that scene with Economos. I think it was in the last episode, where he was just like, man, Eagly's fucking hardcore, man. And Economos was like,
oh, that's Vigilante.
Vigilante.
It's episode 6.
Fucking people up.
Yeah, he's just like, and he's at one point he like pulls out a guy's eye, and you're just like,
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a beat that I never noticed is like during the title sequence, you have like that big dance number and Eagly pops up. And something I never noticed, it's that Eagly missed his mark in the title sequence, and that last like little second is him adjusting.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's
And
something
that
I
lasts a little
never
bit.
noticed until I rewatched this last episode.
Yeah, this last episode, like, it's like, oh, it's one more time. I did notice the early on, but he's just like, and that's it. And you're like, all right, you're cool. You can stay. You're
Uh,
fine.
I don't want to spoil the cameo, but what did you all think? There was some people saying that it was completely out of tone for what those characters.
Those people need to touch grass.
Mm. Okay.
Those people need to go outside, make a friend.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think that was completely out of like character for those people to kind of come in?
It feels like an evolved version of the character that were in previous iteration. And I'm desperately trying to be as vague as I can.
Dusk.
There's a quick banter between two characters.
That
one of them
works.
One of them makes a joke, or one of them makes a statement. The other makes a joke, and the other individual tells them to go F themselves.
It's like
it's
two people that just off an interaction like that, you can tell they have a relationship where they're friendly and like friends constantly tell each other, it's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah. And the character who drops the F-bomb can totally see them doing the F-bomb.
Every like character decision, it fits with that individual's strength as an actor.
Yeah.
And as a person.
I don't think any of the other of those individuals could have made that joke. So either other characters are too specific in their personalities. But that one, you're like, yeah, they could have done that. Again, it's just for a brief moment, and I think it works as a clutch moment and a kind of like a cute one-off joke, or to finalize that joke and let it rest and be done.
It's a callback to a throwaway line, which James Gunn excels at.
Yep. Again, all the way from episode 1, bring back to the finale, and then brought back and finalized here. Just like some random in episodes 1 and 2 making fun of a character gets called back all the way at the end, or in the previous episode. Oh, and in episode 7, oh no, don't, you're making face muscles. It's like, no, dude, no, dumbass, he's crying. Oh. Because like he made a comment about that in episode 2, and he completely believed him, because of course he did. He's vigilante.
I guess to wrap things up. Yeah, I mean, if you're not watching this show, Peacemaker, highly suggested, highly recommended. Really funny show, I think. Yeah.
For me, I'll quote one of my drill instructors from boot camp. It's like, if you're not watching this show, unfuck yourself before I do it for you.
I think it's an excellent show. I don't have many faults with the show. It's funny, great chemistry between all the actors. It's on HBO Max.
Chemistry and like with most James Gunn stuff, excellent fucking needle drop.
Yeah,
it was like, I'm still listening to the because they made an official Peacemaker playlist. I'm still listening to that shit after the first episode dropped, and they updated it with every episode.
Yeah. High tune in for me. Dusk.
The coveted tune in is not one I give too often, but when I do, it is deserved. Ooh. This is, for all purposes, an absolute tune in.
Are we making history again?
Oh my god, we are.
Did Dusk give a tune in?
I did.
On the same episode, we got to level like 6 hype train.
We are.
Yeah.
This is the day to remember. February 18th.
Mark it on your calendars, folks.
Thank you for playing the Afternoon Delight sound bit for 10 bits there. Thank you.
Yeah, mark it down, like 10:57 p.m. February 18th. If you're in my part of the world, like 2 in the afternoon on Saturday. Just
So
gave a tune in.
I did. I gave a tune in to Peacemaker, and I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But there they
Do we,
are.
yeah, dude, real quick, do we have a higher rating than tune in?
I was thinking about maybe making one right now. No, I just give high tune ins, but maybe thinking about maybe doing one higher than tune in. But for right now, it's just high
Possibly
tune.
tune up.
Okay, okay. In lieu of a higher rating than tune in, I'll say this show fucks.
Mm.
I absolutely adored this show. I loved all the comic bits that are with James Gunn's managed to get. I love the chemistry with all the actors, especially John Cena, Danielle Brooks, who plays Adebayo, and Freddie Stroma, who's a vigilante. I love their chemistry back and forth. Uh, I love the emotional beats that we get with, especially Chuck Woody Awuji in episode 5, who plays Clemson Mern. And off the strength of that, I can't wait to see what he does with James Gunn in Guardians 3. I even a character like Harcourt, who I think is fairly underdeveloped. I think Jennifer Holland's a good enough actress that she brings a lot to that character. The action set pieces are some of the best that Gunn's ever done in a comic book show. It tops fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It because I think the like come a little bit closer was the best thing he did prior to that. The finale of this, not even in the same ballpark.
Well,
The music, some of the best that has been in a James Gunn property, and it's helpful because my dad was a big hair metal, and he opened my mind up to a whole bunch of new rock music that I'm really grew to love. I'll say this show, it 110% million times it fucks.
yeah, we love the show a lot. Amazing show. Um,
It's it, yeah, right now my favorite comic book shows, I won't say best, my favorite one. It's between this and Daredevil.
okay, all right. Yeah, it's up there. I got to think about it to do all kind of rank them, but yeah, this is definitely. I think it's gonna be
And
up there.
and the way this season ends, even if we didn't get a season 2 announcement, even if this was going to be a one and done, it's a finale that works both ways as a setup to a season 2 and as okay, this is the last we'll see of Cena's Peacemaker.
And an ending of a character.
Ending of a character's arc that is really heartfelt and satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, very much agree.